We're just fluffing here on Women with Good Chat.
Bring the color.
Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Women with Good Chat. I'm here with my good buddy Pam.
Good afternoon, Amanda. Late in the day to be taping.
That doesn't work the same. We're just talking about hair, and Pam just had her beautiful hair.
There we go. Got highlights.
Highlighted, and it's really quite lovely.
Thank you. It's a summer touch-up.
It's like beautiful blonde with caramel.
Oh, now I'm hungry. Now I want a turtle's chocolate.
Today on Women with Good Chat, we're going to eat.
There we go.
In front of you.
Yes. There we go.
Speaking of eating, or not at all, we wanted to kind of expand on our summer mini-series theme. And today we wanted to discuss the value of having aunties in our life. People that can advise us or advise our kids. So it's sort of another outlet for people that we love to go to, other than ourselves when, sometimes you need to speak to somebody else, right?
Absolutely. And I think, this is a concept, Amanda, that I don't think I knew a lot about when I was growing up. Mm. I don't think it's something in my culture that you would have, women around. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be of your mother's age. It's probably in between you and your mother's age, right? Women that are not your mother, and don't even have to really be a relative, but they're women who understood themselves to be in some relationship with you, and they care about you, and they understand that part of what they're doing is giving you guidance, right? Being there for you and also giving you guidance,
No, it's very important. It's funny, I was just thinking that when I was little, until probably like early teen or preteen or whatever, my go-to person was my sister.
Yes, yeah.
So I couldn't really, it's not that I couldn't talk to my mom, but my mom was not really interested in hearing about anything other than good grades and the odd scraped knee. So my sister really took me under her wing, and I was her little buddy, and she kind of looked out for me.
So there you go. So you had an auntie in house.
I had
you had an auntie in house. I had an aunt, and I've talked about my aunt before in this show because she's the one I went to Egypt with, and I'm going to Newfoundland this summer. But and she was a huge influence, and certainly someone I could have gone to. We were geographically, though, kind of like your older sister. At some point in time, when I was in my early teens, we became geographically very far apart.
Right.
So at that point in time, when long distance telephone calling was a big thing, it was very expensive. We lost touch a bit with that. So I did have the benefit of her when I was younger, but I think there was certainly a stretch of years for me when I really could have used someone in this position. And I think about that quite a bit. My actual aunt, I only have one, the one I'm talking about, and another one was older. She was the same age as my mom. She had kids my age. So there wasn't anybody who was fulfilling this function, and I think it's a really important one.
Absolutely. Again, just sort of as we're talking about this, something comes to mind, and that is my one and only aunt, my Auntie Iris, who lived in Argentina, was very fun and kind of crazy. Like she drank and smoked, and she was like super glam all the time. And she always had nannies running around, didn't look after her own kids, so she had a lot of free time. And if she'd been around, I think she would have been.
You would have been all over that.
Oh yeah, oh my God, Auntie Mame for real, Argentine style.
Right. So these are important figures, right? They're figures, and I think they're even more important when they're introducing you to a different kind of life than what you've got, right? And often you could go to them with things that might shock some people in your family, but they'd be pretty cool with it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the beauty of this whole notion, is someone that is not going to judge you, is going to listen to you. They can be a little older, or maybe even your parents' age, but that they're just just easier to approach
Absolutely.
and talk to. Now, I know the aunt that you travel with, that
Yes.
you've spoken a lot about,
Yep.
and you guys were, like you said, geographically separated for a
Yes,
while.
for a while, yep.
She's just kind of an open person.
She's a very, very easy person to talk to, and she is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Right? So when you talk about, you know, somebody, and my family, they were not really fun-seeking people, right? They were way more serious. And my aunt was fun. She had a boyfriend with a Corvette when I was like 14.
That must be
So
cool.
that was like, she'd rear up to the house with, you know, her boyfriend in her Corvette. Quite like, for somebody like me, this was like, wow. And as I say, if I would have had problems, I certainly could have gone to her, and I would have really been sure there wouldn't have been any judgment about it.
Yeah.
So I think very important. And, you know, as we were talking about in our last episode, we were talking about who we might go to look to for a role model for raising adult children. You know, I also mentioned some people that have come into my life through my book club. And although that was late in my life, and I wouldn't consider them necessarily aunties, if I would have had them around at certain points in my life, they would have been that, because they are intelligent, mature women, very wise, right? Wise, you know, both intelligent and wise, and would have very much been people that I would have loved to have had the opportunity to talk to when I was first having my children, you know, when I was trying to do that work, you know, husband, career balance. They, you know, someone like that would have been wonderful to have in my corner. And I don't think I had too many people like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it is, and we were sort of also talking about how we'd be open to being aunties. So,
Yes.
So if you need one, let us know. We're available.
I hope I am an auntie to one or two people. I mean, I actually have nieces who I love very much and care for and care about very much. So I think during their journey, I have tried to be open to that. Right?
Yeah.
I hope I have been someone that was there that they could have come to if they needed it, and perhaps showed them a different side of things than their parents did. So I hope that's true. But I think it is super important. It's kind of like we talk so much in business and in our professions about mentorship.
Yeah.
Right? The need for mentorship and the need for mentors that look like you, mentors that, you know, think like you.
Yeah.
But I think in our personal life, mentors are a good idea too.
Yeah.
Right? And that's, I think, part of what this is. It's somebody who's been where you've been and has something to contribute.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think about, you know, my life experience, your life experience, and if you're talking to someone who's like take, for example, my stepdaughter who's 22 for a random number.
Yeah.
And obviously the world is her oyster, and there's lots of things she wants to do. And I have had some chats with her from an auntie perspective,
Yes.
where I've said, you know, hey, I've been down this road.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yes.
I know what's up.
Right. Yes. Absolutely.
And this is what you think it is, and it's not.
And it's not. And you know, I was having a conversation with a girlfriend just this weekend about wishing I would have had an auntie around at different points in my life to say, hey, I think you're doing too much. Hey, like, slow down. Are you taking care of yourself, right? Is there really enough time, enough energy to be doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
And that, I think, is exactly where an auntie would have come in to say, you know, there's lots of time. You don't have to do it all now. You know, you've got young children. How about we prioritize this or think about that? And that is a sort of advice that I think I really could have used at certain points in my life. And I can't think of anyone that was either modeling that for me or would have said that, right? Because we all I had lots of very good girlfriends. I've always been so fortunate to have good girlfriends, but we all had our nose in the same, all had our nose to the grindstone. None of us were sitting back and going, you know, maybe this is too much.
Yeah.
Right? And for me, I mean, would I have listened to somebody if they would have said that? maybe not in the minute, but I think it would have been the kind of advice that might have filtered through slowly and would have been helpful.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there's definitely certain cultures where, families are larger
Yes.
and they're all way more involved.
Yes, exactly.
And I think there's a lot of benefit to that.
Yeah, I think
it just wasn't my experience.
Yes, yeah.
And maybe if I had grown up in South America, like my other side of the family, it would have been different.
Right.
But when you have that kind of family infrastructure, there's a lot of people giving you advice, but it doesn't start at 18. It starts at the beginning.
Exactly. It starts at the beginning. And I think, and if there's a few people around, then you've also got the variety of perspective. Because you're going to we had fun aunts, right?
Yeah.
So you had your aunt for fun, but it would have also, you could have also had an aunt who was academic. Yeah. Or an aunt who was pursuing a career at a point in time when that wasn't necessarily what people did. So the broader you've got, of course, the more perspective, which to me is always a good thing, right? Yeah. It's always a good thing. Yeah. So I think it's something that for us as women of our age, I think we have more wisdom than sometimes we realize.
Yes.
Wisdom, life experience, we could call it.
Life experience.
Life experience, right? And as you say, I think it can be a benefit.
Oh, definitely.
To people. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, if there's someone in your world that is younger than you.
Yes.
Then, maybe see if you can help out. Not everybody wants to hear it. Not everybody wants.
Right.
They might think of it as meddling or whatever.
Yes.
But it doesn't hurt to try and reach out and see if you can give someone some advice or even just an ear.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes lending an ear and listening for a while and eventually they'll be comfortable, maybe give me your perspective.
Absolutely.
So you never know until you try.
Absolutely. Good advice. Good advice from a wise
Hey!
Great advice, Anne.
So go forth and advise.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I think this was an awesome episode. And again,
it's a bit of a different topic, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is a bit of a different topic for women of my culture. It's not a common idea.
Yeah.
I have to say. So yes.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Well, again, whenever we start talking about this stuff, we kind of fall in love with the topics. You never know. We might continue on. But we really appreciate you joining us today. Please drop your comments below. We love to hear from you. And we really look forward to seeing you next time on
Women with Good Chat.
See you then.